The Harlem High School Marching Band entertaining the fans here at Harlem as we are at halftime with their Bulldogs leading Glen Hills 17-16. AB, some initial thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think Coach Booker pinpointed it. Sloppy play from his team. They were trying to establish the run, but it's tough to do that when you turn it over, and then some penalties there late. You know, if he cleans that up, I think he feels like his team's got a pretty good chance to win tonight. And one thing we talked about in the keys of the game, you got to limit Glen Hills' big plays, and they weren't able to do that. And for Glen Hills, that's kind of what you live by. And they had two big ones, and that's why, they're sitting right here in just a one-point ball game.
And the one stat that really jumps out at you in the first half, AB, Harlem has rushed for 172 yards to Glen Hills' 42 yards.
Yeah, so he said they weren't controlling the line of scrimmage. They were doing a pretty good job. They just had two penalties that really hurt them. They're doing a pretty good job, as you said. And then, the difference, though, again, has been the big plays, the 91-yard kick return and then the long touchdown pass.
Yep. Individually, Brown, A.G. Brown, with 107 yards on the ground for Harlem in that first half. His running back tandem teammate there, Cameron Garnett, the big freshman, picked up 66 yards. Brown averaging 12.1 yards a carry in this ball game. He averages a
little over that, I think.
A little over that for the game. I was trying to find it. I had it written down somewhere anyway.
12.7.
12.7, so he's just a little bit under his average, but almost right on it for the year.
12.6.
12.6 on the year, so he's averaging 12.1 tonight and with the touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Sean Stewart is the leading rusher for Glen Hills, 28 yards. But again, maybe the big plays came through the air for Glen Hills in that first half.
Well, that and the 91-yard score, of course, from Jermez Bostic as well.
So we'll run down some more stats and scores for you as we move along here at the halftime show. But each week, we like to pay a visit to our host school during the week and learn a little bit more about what makes that place so unique. This week, of course, that's Harlem High School.
Harlem's a place with great people. Being a small town, it's got the small town feel. The people in the community really support our high school, support any athletics that are going on. It's just a great place. Being a small community, you got people with a lot of ties to the school. There's people that still come support our athletic teams that their kids have already graduated, but they still come back and support. Number one, our administration here, Mr. Dietmar Perez, our principal, led by him. We've got just a great administration here. I think Harlem High School's got the best teachers in the county that really care about the kids, great coaches. Our softball team just won the state championship last year. Our golf team, I think our tennis team, our soccer team all won region championships. Things are turning in the right direction for athletics here, and I think all the kids are very excited to be participating. This year's group is a real close-knit group of kids. They really play hard together. The team chemistry is great. Went through a little adversity last week, didn't play real good, but the attitudes never change. They keep playing hard and keep pushing for each other. I've been here 3 years, and our kids have worked extremely hard. Our work ethic and our determination are great. And this being the third year, you can really see some improvements being made within the football program. And it puts some pressure on these kids. They want to be successful just like the other programs.
And back live at Bulldog Stadium here on the campus of Harlem High School, where our halftime score, the Harlem Bulldogs leading Glen Hills 17-16. And we have some other scores we can run down for you here in the second quarter. Jefferson County all over Laney 37-7. We'll be at Laney Stadium, Lucy C. Laney Stadium downtown next week when they'll take on that powerhouse Screven County program. Aquinas leads Mountain DeSales 3-0. That is also at the half. Washington County has now taken a 28-21 lead on Washington County, Evans, I should say. That's second quarter. Greenbrier 13-0 on ARC in the first half. Augusta Christian and Sumter Academy tied 14 all. Greenwood all over Aiken 41-7. Silver Bluff leads Midland Valley 14-0. North Augusta, impressive AB, starting to pull away from White Knoll 35-14. That's a second quarter score.
Yeah, White Knoll's already knocked off South Aiken, so that's really impressive what North Augusta's doing at home tonight.
Speaking of South Aiken, they're also up big 28-0 on Lugoff Elgin. Emerald leads Throm Thurman 13-7. Blackville Hilda 30, Denmark Olar 6. And Augusta Prep leads Thomas Jefferson 27-7. Oh, we have a moment. Why don't we take a quick listen into the Harlem High School Marching Band as we go to break one more time. We're at the half with Harlem leading 17-16. Back on Game Night Live, we are at halftime in Harlem, where the Bulldogs lead the Glen Hill Spartans 17-16. Have about a little bit more than 9 minutes left here at the half.
Well, yeah, in the second half, let's see who strikes first. Is it going to be Harlem getting a long drive with that running game, or is Glen Hill's going to continue to take deep throws and try to dare these Harlem defenders to cover Golad, because he's been pretty good so far tonight, and they do have a quarterback who can air it out. There's no question about that.
Don't forget, at the end of the game, we'll be naming our offensive, defensive players of the game. You want to stay tuned to see which players will be named the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. We want to thank McDonald's for their sponsorship, as always, of Game Night Live. And if you have missed anything so far, if you're just joining us, you can catch a full recap of tonight's game coming up at 11:35 over on Football Friday Night on WJBF, the only 30-minute show dedicated entirely to high school football in the CSRA. I know Nathan Palm, let's see, it's almost 9 o'clock. He should be back in the sports office right now working hard on the show. Zach Hughes, they'll have all the highlights and reaction for you from this one and all the games around the area. 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6.
That's right, and a rebroadcast, of course, on News Channel 6 as well, Sunday at noon, so you can catch the game in its entirety.
So without further ado, and before we get started here in the second half, let's take a look back how we got here in our first half highlights, and this was a big moment for the Spartans, AB.
Yeah, absolutely. Great pressure on the quarterback, and it was really miscommunication in the backfield. He didn't have a back to pitch the ball to, and Harlem turns it over, and luckily for them, they dodged the bullet. Glen Hills didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, Alexander McGee with the big recovery for Glen Hills, and then this was a massive play for Harlem.
Yeah, Chase Pennington got rid of the football quickly. That was the key to that play. Frail's able to catch it, and then nobody was there to cover him. The safety not in the picture, and Harlem gets the big score on the 45-yard scoring strike.
So that knotted things up, but not for long, as on the ensuing kickoff, Glen Hills, and here came big number 9, Jermez Bostic, going 91 yards to reclaim the lead for Glen Hills.
Yeah, when he put his foot in the ground when he saw that hole, and absolutely was a blur. And you're right, Glen Hills answered, and that's what has kind of happened in this game. Both teams have just been kind of punch, counter punch, and Glen Hills punched it in for 2 on that one as well.
But not to be outdone, Harlem, as they've done all night long, keeping it on the ground, and we've called his name more times than we can count. A.J. Brown gets loose here, and then the nice cutback, and he's gone.
Yeah, 58-yard run. He ended up with 107 yards in the first half. That's nothing new for him. He's averaging almost 200 yards a game, and that's considering he's not even playing in the second half, really, or running the ball in the second half in a couple of these games. So A.J. Brown with a big scoring run there.
And then just before the half, it was back to the air for Glen Hills, and a big touchdown pass to Antonio Golat.
Yeah, Golat just got behind the defensive backs, and his quarterback put it right on the spot. And Glen Hills again punched it in for 2. Harlem would come back with a field goal to give themselves the lead at 17-16, and that is where we stand.
So Harlem leads at 17-16. We have about 6 minutes left here in the half. We can give you a couple of other score updates as they continue to come in. Sumter Academy now 20-14 at the half over Augusta Christian. Greenwood is all over Aiken, 44-7. And let's see, Westminster is up 35-0 on Dominion Christian. We'll see that Westminster team here in a couple of weeks.
That's right, against Augusta Prep, a team that's rolling tonight big, 47-7 over Thomas Jefferson Academy. And that's a team that's unbeaten. And we talk about Harlem really enjoying running the football. That's what Augusta Prep does. And they've got a B.J. Stone, a kid who's a big-time running back, over 1,500 yards rushing last year from the quarterback position. This year they moved him over to running back, and he's going to be somebody to watch in a few weeks when we got that game coming up.
Don't forget, if you can't catch us on the air, you can catch us out and about live streaming. Watch the game live on your smartphone. You can see replays, watch the play-by-play broadcast from WJBF. It is all free from the WJBF News Channel 6 app. You just go to the App Store on your smartphone, you download the WJBF News Channel 6 app, you open it up, and then you click on it, watch Game Night Live on your mobile device, AB.
That's right. A big 4AA matchup here tonight, Glen Hills. And the reason this game is big, they both come in with a record of 2-1 overall. It's all open. Everything's open right now. But in your region, you already know you've got the third-ranked team in the state in Screven County. Mm-hmm. You've got the eighth-ranked team in the state in Jefferson County. So you're going to have to battle for those other two playoff spots. And Glen Hills and Harlem are the two teams right now that seem to be maybe the front runners for the other two spots. So the winner tonight really puts themselves in a good position possibly for a postseason berth, because below them you've got Butler, Josie, Laney, and Westside. Between them on the season, they are 2-10. Mm-hmm. So both these teams could make the playoffs, but the winner of this game tonight really puts themselves in a good position.
And like I said, Todd Booker made that very clear to us. Whoever doesn't win here tonight, it's going to be a tough road to get to the postseason. And again, both of these two programs trying to get back to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. 08 for Glen Hills. Harlem, that drought has been a long time. 2001 was the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, there are kids on this Harlem football team. It's going to make us sound old. There's some kids on the Harlem football team right now that weren't alive then.
Don't say.
As a matter of fact,
Garnett,
one of their running backs.
He doesn't even remember what it's like to go to the playoffs. Hey, real quick while we got a second, I want to throw a shout-out to Coach Nick Collins of Glen Hills. He was recently married, so congratulations to him on that, first of all. Second of all, he wanted to tell us that his new bride, Erica, is helping him on the sidelines tonight. So congratulations to the two of them on their recent wedding, and now, if he makes a bad call or something, he has somebody to blame it on.
Well, real quick, John, I got to jump in here.
Uh-oh.
Because we got somebody listening to the live stream, buddy of mine, that's working in Charleston due to the storms. He's got to be out there listening to the live stream, and he says, John Hart has got to tell us about his weekend in Chi-Town. That's all. That's what he's waiting on. So here, let me set the stage. So John Hart, who is a lifelong, rabid Georgia Bulldog and Atlanta Falcon fan, Atlanta sports, Georgia sports, he loves it. And dream trip to go, first off, bucket list to go to Wrigley Field.
Mm-hmm. Where I've been before, but not in this context.
Exactly. So you've got Georgia Notre Dame Saturday. You got the Falcons at Soldier Field Sunday. 3 straight nights of just unbelievable stuff for you. And I got a picture early in the day before the game at Wrigley Field on Friday of my buddy outside his hotel. He just snapped a shot of downtown Chicago, and it was all red and black.
Red.
And I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be crazy. So tell us how your weekend went.
As soon as I got off the plane, all you saw was red everywhere. Airport, downtown Chicago, everything. Wrigley Field, 10 to 15,000 Georgia fans in the middle of a pennant race, mind you. They're playing the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're fighting for first place in the Central Division. And Cubs players were looking in the stands going, they were calling the dogs.
You guys were doing the tomahawk chop. Yeah, and Vince Dooley throws out the first pitch, and you got the Bulldog, doing the Bulldog chants and stuff.
Yeah.
My buddy was sending me videos. I got chill bumps. It was awesome.
To be a Georgia or Falcons fan, that was one of the greatest weekends ever. I'll continue my story in just a minute.
That's right.
But first, we have the Greater Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award Punters of the Game down on the field. And for that, we're going to send it back down to our good friend Matt Lane on the sidelines. Matt?
Thank you, John. Yeah, we're here on the sidelines for the Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award Punters of the Game segment. Here joined with our friend Stacey Adkins, CEO of Augusta Sports Council. Stacey, we talked a couple of weeks ago. I know some big events coming up. Can you talk about the importance of each and every week getting out to the high school, each high school, and giving out, Punters of the Game awards, but really kind of making it a note to recognize local punters?
I will. We give out a national award, and we've done that. This is our 18th year. So we were really excited this year to be able to recognize some of the local guys. This is the first time we've ever gone to the Friday night games and recognized the local punters, and we hope to expand each year.
Now, y'all are involved in a lot of events in the area all throughout the year. What's your favorite event?
Oh, wow. I don't know if I have a favorite one, but we have a really big one coming up. Ironman 70.3 is next weekend, so that is a huge undertaking for us. Yeah, and you know, those are some pretty impressive athletes. So we're gearing up for that. We use a lot of volunteers. A lot of the community gets involved in it. So that is next on the calendar for us.
I know there's a big one coming up later in the college football season, the Ray Guy Award that Augusta Sports Council is involved in. Can you speak on that and how much fun that is each and every year to be a part of?
It's so exciting. It's December 7th actually, and this is the second year it'll be held in the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. Ray comes and presents for us, and you know it's just neat to see up and coming, really NFL stars all in one place.
All right, and now it's time for the awards, so we want to hand them out. First off, we want to hand out an award for the punters of the game. First off, for Glen Hill's, Donquez Moore, the starting punter, place kicker, also field goals. You kind of do it all. Now, real quick, earlier in the game, you had a pretty good little punt there. Did you feel like you were going to get a good one off, or is that normal for you?
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, I was thinking. It was good. I already know it will go kick it good.
Well, very good, man. Very good. Want to recognize Donquez Moore from Glen Hills. And then from Harlem High School, Jeremy Glidewell. Jeremy is a sophomore here at Harlem High School. Jeremy, can you speak on other sports that you play at Harlem and how that sort of helps you out kicking the football?
I play soccer, and I guess soccer helped me out because it worked on my technique. It helped me with my technique for kicking the football.
Yeah, and you were able to, kick year-round, so it's certainly helpful. So for Harlem High School, Jeremy Glidewell, the punters of the game for the Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award, punters of the game. Back to you, John.
All right, Matt, I know everybody is anxiously awaiting the conclusion of my Chicago trip story.
I know I am.
We'll get to that in just a minute, as well as the second half kickoff coming up next here on Game Night Live.